guys, and welcome back to Marie's Acrylic and Gel Nails here in sunny central Queensland. On this nail today we will be doing a red, white and blue type nail. So I've got glistening cobalt, it's very pretty, and Malibu. We will also be using radiant white. And what I'm going to do before I put the netting down is, I'll grab them all. I have a set of these. Okay, so I think I'm going to use the heart. So that's the heart. And yeah, I just want to use the heart. I have seen a tutorial on how you can make these yourself. They're $14 for, I can't remember how many are there, but I think it's 5 or 6, and I got 12 in total. But for 6, and I bought both sets, and they're really cool. So I'll show you how to use these, as well as we're going to be using this red netting. So it's furry, the little hearts are furry. And because they're felt, they do run, so you've got to be really careful with it. So let's get started into this tutorial. So I'm going to take my darker blue first. You should always, around the smile line, start with your dark colour and work down to your light colour. So I'm just going to place this around my smile line here. And I am going to feather it out a little bit, not too much. I'm going to take a second ball, and I'm going to place that ball just here and brush it back up towards the smile line, because I do want here a lot solider in colour. Okay, so we've got that, and I'm just going to make sure this here is really feathered out. So then I'm going to take the Malibu, which is a really pretty glitter, and I'm just going to place that here on the ends. And I'm just going to feather that up. Okay, so that's the two blues together. Now what I'm going to do, and you've got to be really quick with this, but as you know, I'm having trouble with my acrylic drying, so I've got my radiant white. I'm going to dip my little tool into the white powder, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to press it in so I get the little heart impression. So then I'm going to get a small, very small bead of white, and I'm going to fill in around that white heart. I'm going to wipe off as much as the excess I can. Without taking it out of the center. I mean, realistically, and that's what I'm going to do, is just, you leave that there so you can see the heart. You can see there's white on the blue. I don't want that, so what I'm going to do is, once that's dried, I will just go over it quickly with my file. And so the same with that, that's how wet my acrylic still is. I've punctured in my second heart. So we've got 2 hearts there. I'm going to place my white in here. Okay, so same thing there. I'm just going to feather off as much of that white. Now, still praying that my acrylic down the bottom is that wet, which is pretty much a good given at this stage. I am going to get my big red heart with my netting, and I'm going to press it in to where I want it. And then I'm going to get my little stalk scissors very quickly. And I am going to cut around my smile line. And sorry, I know I've moved it there, it's not in frame. Again, I'm not going to cut off a heap of it, the netting at the side, because we're still not 100% stable, and that's okay, because I don't want it to be yet pushed down into there. We have the marks there. As you can tell, I'll let it set up better down here. But what I want is for here to dry, where I've punctured those 2 little hearts, so I can go over there, go over it with the file, and then what I will do is let this netting back up. And work from there. Okay, so I'm going to pause it while I'm letting it dry. I will come back when this is right to file. Okay guys, welcome back. I think it's fairly okay. I'm just going to use my sanding block. Just a bit worried I was being a bit impatient. So I'm just going over those hearts just to define those 2 white hearts that they are white hearts. Oops, sorry. Which I have, as you can see, they now look like white hearts. So I'm going to push my netting back up, and as you know, it's not going to play the game, but I am going to get my radiant pink now, and I'm going to start securing everything in place. So I'm just going to put a fairly decent blob there and just push gently down that netting to give me an anchor point. Now I'm going to take a larger bead. I'm going to take all the liquid out, and I'm going to come over that heart. And as you can see, I'm going to encapsulate the heart. Now I don't want to drag the liquid everywhere because I do find it runs. I just want a very dry ball of acrylic to encapsulate that heart. Once I'm happy with that, then I will start encapsulating the rest of the nail. Okay, so you get the general idea. Sorry, I'm leaving you trying to grab that little bit of runoff there. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. I'm not overly worried about the netting that's up the top here when I go to file, whether it's I've encapsulated it well enough that it stays or whether it removes some of it. I'm not overly worried about it. At this stage, I don't want a really thick nail. What I do want though is the netting down the bottom over that heart to be encapsulated. Without it running. And I have had one I've given some of this netting to say they've had it run. Well, you can see I haven't got it to run at all. So I'm going to pause. I shall be back when the nail's ready to be filed. Or after it's been filed, I should say. Okay guys, welcome back. The nail, as you can clearly see, is filed. I didn't have any trouble really with any of that netting floating up, but it does look like it's actually floating in the acrylic. So I'm just going to with you again. Sorry about the filing noise, I know it's loud. I'm going to give the nail a quick buff. Okay, so we can see it together. It's so pretty. And I'll give it a wipe so you get the full, oops, let's move the camera, you get the full effect. Look at that, how pretty is that? And I love the little bit of netting going over the white hearts and the red heart. It's just, I love that nail. I like all three of them so far. I don't have a favourite. So I'm going to use again that brush on gloss, and what I'm going to do with this brush on gloss and the Glaze and Go is I'm going to just put these nails in my bookcase. let them sit there for a week, and then I'll put them on the hand, because I mean, I know you're not going to get, that's my bad, flooding the cuticle there. I know you're not going to get the full effect that you would if it was on someone's actual nail. And by the way, with this, it's like the first one, don't forget to get the sides of the nail, just to make sure the netting's all encapsulated in. Yeah, just to give you guys an idea of what I mean about the dullness. So that one's, look at that, how pretty is that? I'm going to pop that in the light. So again, you guys are just going to have to put up with me chatting. I would like to say though, while we're having a chat, I've noticed a couple of dislikes, and I'm not actually offended by the dislikes, but I really would like to hear why you are disliking the video and what your thought is. I mean, yes, I'm a qualified nail technician, I'm human, I make mistakes. I'm not editing those mistakes. I think it's important for whether you are a professional, whether you're just a home user, that you see everyone makes mistakes. Not everything turns out the way we hope or we plan to, and you know, everyone has to practice, and I think it's really, really super important that you get to see that, rather than seeing these really polished videos all the time. Crap happens. So yeah, please, if you're going to dislike one of my videos, let me know why. So again, that's it nail. Look at that, it's so pretty. You can even see this one against that one, how matte it's gone quickly, yet the glaze and go is still really super shiny. And I haven't filed that, I haven't touched it. I mean, I can wipe it over, this one over, and make the shine come back. I'm going to wipe off the dispersion layer on top of this nail. And you can see if I wipe this one over, it's going to come back to super shiny. So that's that one, and I can see a little bit of fluff sitting just there, which if it was on a client, I would come in with my pair of stalky scissors, and I'd either re-encapsulate it or I'd cut it off and re-encapsulate it. More to the point, I think, is if I was on a customer, that is what I'd do. My stalk scissors aren't getting it, but yeah, I would do that. Okay, so that's the netting with the fur lace, the fur hearts. That's just the netting impression left into the nail, and that's the lace. So I will be back again during the week with another tutorial. Till then, keep safe. Please, if you like my videos, share them and subscribe, and so I know, and I can keep doing more. Bye.